those who don't know, this is Elder Amoja Ajabu, your host for Ajabu Speaks. This program serves a dual purpose because it also is the political education class for the Black Panther movement. And yours truly is your professor, unbought, unbossed, and unafraid, who is a Pan-African, who does not define himself along with a bunch of other people, and it's growing because people are understanding that if you define yourself as a Pan-African, you define yourself in a way that's pro-you, that is not based on where you were born, but based on where you're from. You was born, I was, in the United States of America, but I'm from, like a bunch of us, the African continent, and if we think what's best for the African continent is going to come in conflict with what is decided to be best in the United States, because the United States believes it's in their best interest to keep us oppressed. And because of that, you know, I acknowledge that this cat, Doug, is the president of the United States. Doug, you know, the guy that wants to wage war on the brothers in Chicago. You know, I acknowledge that he is the president, but he ain't my president. He ain't our president. He don't look out for us. He looks out for those who's trying to prey on us. So for that reason, this man is my president. Captain Ibrahim Traore. That's my president. That's our president. Because he's talking about using this African continent in a way that all of us benefit, whether we are living on the African continent or somewhere else in the world. He says that land is ours. Africa is for Africans. And he, along with these two brothers, brother Assimi Goita and General Abdul Rahmani Tijani. Together they have come through and taken some land over here in the Sahel. They done took Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, and they're saying that they're going to rule that in a Pan-African way. And when moving in a Pan-African way, they say that land and those resources are for everybody. So I'm a Pan-African, but that ain't what I want to talk about today. I mean, I'm going to talk about it from that base, and they're going to come back up. But what I want to talk about today is this right here. And I've been talking about that. Y'all can see that, can't you? Let me get it a little closer. You see that? That's two brothers hanging in a tree. And that's what I want to talk about today, because that stuff is still going on. Because these two brothers, Trey Reed and Randon Zugatis, they were hung in Mississippi last week, well, about 2 weeks ago now. And so the topic of this series, part 3 of Who is Your God, I want to coin this is, where is your God? And how come the God of these two brothers didn't show up so that the God of these people were successful in hanging them? Where is our God? Who is our God? Now, to understand the concept of God, you got to understand that God that created the universe and that chose us, and obviously he chose us because if you look at the evidence, the people that is from this land called Africa, the God of the universe, the God of the world, the ultimate God, gave all the resources that are in the world to this piece of land right here, to the people right here. So obviously, as opposed to the rest of the world, we were chosen. And that God is not the same God that these people right here are worshiping. If we worship their God, then we support this. If we worship their God, then we support them hanging us in the trees. If we support their God, we support that these two brothers got hung in a tree. We can't go with that God. And the Pan-African does not see that God, our God, like that. And so we come together and we're asking the question, why did our God not show up? And again, you got to understand that our God, there's two things about the God of the universe that you got to understand. One, that he's all powerful, omnipotent. That's how they like to say it in the church. He's got all the power. And two, which is more important, this is the point that you got to get. He's omnipotent. He's everywhere. That means if you somewhere, he's there. That means if he's everywhere, if you somewhere, that means he's in you. So there's a God in you and me. And if that God had showed up at this rally right here where we was the strange fruit, as Billie Holiday likes to talk about, where the roots of the tree is watered with blood. If our God had showed up, then this wouldn't have happened. Because our God is all powerful. And it would have put their God on the run. Who is our God? I'm here to tell you that if we'd have showed up on the set, on that set, like this, if we'd have showed up like this, on that, then we'd have put them on the run. Because they can't beat us. Where 2 or 3 of us are gathered, God is there. Where 2 or 3, if we come up with just a gathering, it don't take a whole bunch of us to be able to handle business. These brothers right here can handle all of that. We done put them on the run. And we done put them on the run, and we would have stopped that. They wouldn't have hung them brothers. If these brothers had showed up, this is our God. We are our God. God is everywhere. We need to quit playing. And I was listening to Facebook and CNN this morning. They was talking about that yesterday was supposed to be the rapture. And they had a theologian on there talking about that. Well, the rapture is Jesus coming back. And some preacher over in South Africa done told him, well, I done talked to God, and God done told me that Jesus is coming back on the 22nd of September 2025. And now we're at September the 23rd, 2025, and Jesus didn't show up. He ain't going to show up. If you look at Matthew, I think 6:18 or might be 18:6, I don't know. But if you look in there, Jesus, it is reported that Jesus told everybody that was standing there that he would be back before some of them died. The second coming was the resurrection. But they're still trying to make us think that is happening so that we're looking for this liberation event, and so that we will continue to bear that cross to let them oppress us needlessly, and we'll accept the oppression. Not only is it needlessly, we accept it peacefully. And if we understand that Jesus is not going to be coming back, and that we need to be dependent upon the God that is within us, then we'll come together and we'll show up. We'll show up and we'll stop this. And we'll stop this. We need to show up. This is our God. This is who we are. And it is time, past time, for our God to become powerful. And we'll become powerful when we unite. And it is time to unite. And see what has happened. And this is the reason why I say these brothers is my president. Is because they have taken over land. They have taken over Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso for the benefit of our people. They done showed up. See, they done showed up. They saying that look. They saying don't bring this no more. Don't bring this. We gonna show up. And they showed up in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And they're saying that they done showed up for us, not just for the residents of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. They done showed up for us as a people. They saying, shoot, we understand that happened. We need to get together to stop this from continuing to happen. And the way that we stop that is that we unite. We come together. We organize the God that is within us. And we make it happen. We don't mess around with that white boy that they putting out there talking about that he Jesus. And see, these white folks right here, Boy, where is that? What did I do with that? I ain't got that. A jabu. No, that ain't that. See, that's what happens when you get old. You mess around and you misplace stuff. Cause I had a picture of them people that was attending. They call him Charlie Kirk. They call him Charlie. I just call him Chuck. But they had a picture of him. Damn. And they look just like these people right here. And when you're talking about those people, where are they? Well, no, ain't that amazing? When you talk about those people, then you understand that these people right there and those people that are talking about that they are with old Chuck, I call him Chuck. They're the same people. They are, look at this. They are worshiping that white Jesus. And what the hell? They are worshiping that white Jesus. And because they are worshiping that white Jesus, they show up. Well, we really nobody knows what Jesus looked like. But we know that what he didn't look like when he is described in the Bible. He's described as having hair like wool. I wonder if sometimes Jesus had a bad hair day. And he got out there and he said, damn! But he had hair like wool! Said his feet looked like brass burned into a furnace. And if you burn anything, I got it. Believe me. If you burn anything, it's going to be carbon. Carbon is black as his hat. And I need to put it back on. But I mean, you talking about that old woolly hair. That woolly hair, Jesus had woolly hair. This is hair like wool. That's how he described in the Bible. He ain't described looking like this. Jesus don't look like these people. Jesus looked like these people. And they done the same thing to Jesus that they done to them. They didn't hang him. They did. They didn't hang him by the neck, but they hung him on a cross. It's time for it to stop. Me covering my head and get back in uniform. It's time for it to stop. And we can stop it. We got to show up. We got to unite. And then, see, if we show up, then we'll put the devil on the run. Now they say that David, what they say, 10 believers can put 1,000 on the run. Just we show up like this. This amount right here could take care of all of that. They would run, and we show up and we say, hey, don't do that. Don't hang none of ours. You thinking about doing what? You better get out of here. If we show up, the God that's within us, if it shows up and before us being Pan-African, before the people that come from this land, then we put all of this on the run. it's time for us to come together. And we put them on the run. So, shoot. They don't keep doing this to our children. Where are the men? Where are the women? And I'm telling you, the men and the women are right here. Brother Ibrahim Traore, Abdul Rahman Chiani, and Assimi Goita, they have shown up. God is moving in them. God is saying, look, enough. And God, I can see why God would be mad at us. He done gave us all of this wealth. And we living like we living in the world. God mad. He done, look, I done chose y'all, and now y'all done let somebody run over you. What's wrong with you, African? That God, I'm your God, I'm all powerful, and I'm in there, right there with you, I'll take care of you. But you messing up, you don't let somebody else come over there and treat you like they treating you. Yeah, I can see our God being very mad. I can see him being very mad. And if you believe the scripture, he says that the destruction next time won't be by water, it'll be by fire. And he they got those weapons and they killing people, and we need to stop killing each other and come together. Africa must unite. And these brothers, Captain Traore, Brother Chiani, President Goita, General Goita, they're saying, okay, God, we hear you. We're coming together. We're going to set the example. Now, you know, that, brothers, it's a big responsibility. And they've stepped up, and the brothers, shoot. When I was in Burkina Faso, I spoke to the president of the commission for the Sahel states in Burkina Faso. And I spoke to him, and he was saying that they understood that it was one hell of a responsibility. And that the only thing that will stop them from getting to our freedom is somebody would be a betrayer, a Judas. He says that's the biggest fear, and I can understand him having that fear because I understand the history of what happened to him. Boy, I done put stuff somewhere. Y'all know aging has its impact. Because I have a picture in here of Thomas Sankara, who is the one that actually set in motion the Pan-Africanist thought there in Burkina Faso when he changed the name of Upper Volta, which is what Burkina Faso was named to. He changed that to Burkina Faso, which means the uprighteous people, so that he would help them to understand who we are. And I had a picture of that. But all of that started with this man right here, Kwame Nkrumah. He's the one that came up with the Pan-Africanist thought there in Ghana. And shoot, they ran him out of town because he was betrayed. Thomas Sankara was betrayed. Malcolm X was betrayed. And now we got to make sure that there is no betrayal here. And that betrayal is, and I can't see it happening because they standing strong. They done got up out of ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States, because they wanted to jump on Brother Chiani because he ran the French out of Mali. And they said, no, you can't jump on. So they standing. They just made it remove the fee to travel within their countries for any African on the African continent. If you're on the African continent, then you can travel to Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, and you don't have to pay a visa fee. They're saying that, look, we need to make Africa as one. They now have gotten rid of the passports of each individual country. They got a common passport. And the next thing they're getting ready to do is get rid of the CFA franc. They're going to get their own money. And again, I recommend that they talk to Zimbabwe, because Zimbabwe has got its own banking unit and got its own Zim dollar that is backed by gold. Use that gold that you got there in the Sahel. Use that gold to back up the money. So the bottom line of the lesson today is we got to find our God. We can't keep worshiping the God that allows us to be strange fruit in trees. We got to stop this. We got to stop this. We can't let them do it. Now God is mad at us because we haven't stopped it. All he done gave us, and we got the nerve to let people do that to us, to hang us in trees in 2025, September of 2025. No, we're better than that. And we got to start acting better than that. We must unite. And we must show up. And when we show up, we must show out. So they understand you can't treat us like that. You've been listening to Elder Amoja Jabu, giving you lessons from a Pan-African point of view. We got to support our soldiers. Rodney Hinton in Cleveland. Ortho Wallace. Ozone. We got to support them. They had the nerve to stand up to those who are the military arm that oppresses. It's time for it to stop. So that we can control the resources that's in the land that the Lord our God has given us. Unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. Truly a Pan-African to the heart, who serves a God that shows up when it's time for us to stop people from treating us in the way that we've been treated. We've got to pull together. We've got to become one. Up, your mighty race. Accomplish what you will. You ready?